Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your board. Big Funk Thinker right out here in the lab, putting together some good lessons for you. Hope you're enjoying it, but that's what I do out here in the lab for you. Let's go. Rightism. This is part two from the lesson I just gave you. We got some good stuff going. Let's get back with my title is Isms. Okay, let's go. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily. Study to show yourself improve and help and guide you to attain what your goal of spiritual enlightenment. That's how it's done. AKA know thyself. My mission is that all my right thinkers do just that. Know yourself. With the lesson I'm giving you, try to make that easy for you. That's what I do. I do for you. The question is, do you know you? If not, stay tuned. I can help you with that. Know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's what I do. I do for you. I appreciate you too. A person who knows not and believes that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep. I could awaken. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my eye, be true. This is part two. The last lesson was called selected spiritual categories compared. I just gave you, I think, 6 rundowns of the isms, okay, what I call it isms. It was, simple stuff, monotheism, polytheism, okay. Now I'm getting to the isms and the categories which they're going to be compared. There's 8 of them. If you want to take note, fine, but I'm going to go through this not too fast, but hopefully I'm going to break it down where you get a good understanding of what the isms is all about. Okay? All God-centered, all spiritual advancement. Ism means higher consciousness. Selected spiritual categories compared. They compare them, okay? Why not? Let's go. The sages of ancient times created philosophies through which it may be possible to what? Explain the origins of creation. That's the start. That's where I start from. Creation. From the sun to the air to the water to the earth and the heavens. That's creation. Man's number 6 on the scale of creation. Why? Because that's where the spirit became into humans. Lesson. But watch this. Now, as we saw above, then they set out to what? Create disciplines which could lead a person to discover the spiritual truth of life for what? Themselves. I'm big on for yourself. I'm self-made, not be made, which a lot of you guys now are be made, meaning mama's boys, emotional. I'm self-made. I'm a grown man. Okay. Went through the rigors to become a grown man. So understand that. And watch this. You need to know the truth for yourself, and thereby you can realize the higher reality which lies beyond the phenomenal world, which is this illusionary world that we all deal with, full of distractions, nonsense. But if you stay focused and do what you're supposed to do, you'll be fine. I can swim through the world problem like an eel through seaweed. Why? I have knowledge of self. These disciplines, watch this, are referred to as religion, again, following the concept, and spiritual philosophies. Mysticism, yoga, all these is telling you you're aspiring to do better. That's why you're called experts. You're aspiring to raise your conscious level. If not, you just go along about your life and do what you do. But watch this. Now below is a basic listing of the world religions and spiritual of the world religious and spiritual philosophies. The following religious categories are presented so that the reader may gain a basis for comparing the various forms of that practice, religious practice, that are being discussed in this book. The book being Mysteries of Isis, okay? Pure knowledge, information on how to become a better you. Self-improvement, so to speak. Watch this. The varied religions exist so that the varied personalities and human beings may be able to practice a religion in accordance with what their current desires and or psychological inclinations based on their level of spiritual development and maturity. Children learn from us. We set the example. If we don't set a good example, they're going to follow our example, whether it's good or bad. So understand that. Watch this. Now, some of the religions presented as examples of the varied categories contain features that are from more than one category alike and similar. Watch this. But in these cases, the number one beside the religious example will, designate the primary category of the religion. And the number two will signify the secondary feature, meaning it's got this in common with somebody else. Understand that. If the religion has more than one, it will be signified that the religion has what? Sects that exemplify more than one particular category. Here we go. Note, while polytheistic, monotheism, and pantheistic monotheism contain elements of animism, the understanding that the universe, watch this, is alive with what? Spirits or souls. It is understood that these are just manifestations of the supreme being, absolute, and not independent reality. Nothing operates on its own. As beings, there's only one race. We say that all the time. It ain't the black, white, no. Human race. We all bleed red. You kept whatever color you was on the outside don't make a difference. And please understand that. That's why the racism shouldn't work. Why? We are different on the outside, but on the inside, we're all the same. That blood is red. You find me somebody who brings another color, then you can find a different species of people. But other than that, we're all the same. So that's just my concept, and that's why I'm not racist or caught up in colors or in nonsense. Differences, ain't no problem with that. I'm different, always been. So I don't discriminate because you're different. I discriminate in your actions that show what kind of person you really are. So you know how I feel. Okay, table. This is called the table of religious categories. I know you can't see it, but it's 8 of them. Okay, and I just call it the isms because all of them end in ism. Let's start with theism. A belief in a God who will punish the sinners and serve the faithful. Sound familiar? That's theism. The example, Orthodox Christianity, Orthodox Islam, Orthodox Judaism, Zoroastrianism, which got a one by it, and Brahmanism also got a one by it, meaning it's got something in common with something else. Okay? But theism is pretty much what Christians and the Muslims and the Jews believe in. Not a problem. A choice, religious concept. Okay. Atheism, again, a choice to follow if you choose to. But this is what atheism says. Salvation by doing what makes you happy. Do you. Okay. That guy, Alistair Crowley, this was his. Eat, drink, and be merry. For tomorrow, my man said, no, the Greek said that, but he said, do you, whatever. Okay. And satanic people, this is their philosophy. Okay. Atheism. Okay. There is no God. Okay, as atheist, you don't consider no God. That's what makes you atheist. Only existence, which just happened in its own without any help. See, that don't make much sense. But again, when you're not thinking right, whatever you're saying or doing to them makes sense. But a logical person says that makes no sense, so you won't follow that. Those who follow that is ignorant, so they caught up in the concept. And here's the example: you got Epicureans, Sharvakas, atheists, externalists, Stoics. Now, Stoics are just philosophies who speak gracious and straightforward. So they don't care about God. They just live by the philosophy, principles, okay, ethics. Humanists and Western civilization. Again, caught up in that. Not If you think what happened here or how we got here is by accident or just happened, you ain't this smart. Okay, definitely not the right thinking. But that's atheist choice. Ethicism, okay? Salvation by what? Performing right action. Now, I'm in compliance with this so far. Okay, this is the top shelf. This is what to tell you what it represents, and I'm okay with ethicism. Why? Because here's the example of that belief. Zoroastrianism, Jainism, Confucianism, Aristotelianism, Taoism, Gnosticism, Vedanta, she taught Netta, which what I practice. Yep. Yep. Put right thinking in there. Right thinking. Buddhism. What's this guy? Pythagoreanism. Humanist. African religion. Eastern religion. And Native American religion. All those fall under the same concept of ethicism. Santanism. Dharma. Hinduism too, and yoga too. Meaning they all have something in common. They all have a similar concept or follow pretty much the same concept. That's all. Okay, that's ethical. That means how you perform it. We can put Mayat in there. Okay, she taught that based on Mayat. What? Living right, doing right, and you'll be rewarded. That's the concept of ethicism. Next one is ritualism. Now this is the one that most people is in love with. Rituals. As a Mason, I understood the purpose of rituals. Rituals was lessons that you learn. You don't live in the ritual. You understand it and learn the ritual. Then you live the answers and the hidden messages in the ritual. Let's go. Ritualism, salvation by performing what? Correct rituals. And it's an action. Over here, ethicism says performing right action. If you are a ritualism, all you want to do is perform what? Right? Rituals, church service, first Sunday sermon, all that. That's all ritual. And that's fine. Let's talk about the example of ritualism. Taoism, Gnosticism, Vedanta again, she taught Netta again, Buddhism again, Pythagoreanism again, Spinoza, Kabbalism, Sufism, Idolism, Pythagoreanism again, and Plantism, yoga, Plantism and Platonism and yoga again fall under that category. So in ritualism, oh, I did the wrong. Sorry about that. My bad. Whoa, get over here. Ritualism, for example, is Brahmanism, priestcraft, she taught Netta, Santana, Dharma, and Hinduism, meaning you have rituals to perform that learn, but you need the lessons that learn, and it's done through rituals. Most of us is like going to church because that's part of the ritual of Christians, okay? But are you practicing the things outside the ritual or what the ritual represents? The myth, be with the myth, study it, meditate on it, and then implement it. That's how you get the mystical experience, mimicking the gods. Next one. Now we got monoism. That's what I just read about the last one. Monoism is salvation by what? Understanding that all is the supreme being and nothing else exists. So they got the one God concept, okay? But that's their choice. Monoism, meaning one. But all the aspects of God emanates from the one. But we teach that. So we understand. Okay, moving on. But what's the example? I just gave it to you. Taoism. I would say now all these things don't sound like rituals. So it's monism. She taught Netta, Buddhism, right thinking philosophy, Pythagoreanism, Spinoza, Kabbalism, Sufism, Idolism, Pythagoreanism again, and Platonism and yoga. All these are things that's going to help you get closer to your higher self. Hopefully make better yourself with one God conscious concept. Okay? Next one. Polytheism, polytheistic, monotheism. What the what? Okay. Almost there. I'm trying to get this thing done. Salvation by approaching the supreme being, be his or her manifest by his or her manifestations, nature, cosmic forces, mystical experiences. That's what the religion and Christianity Judaism and Islam supposed to do. Have you have that mystical experience through the studying and doing the good deeds and following the rituals. That's the intent of religion. I respect that, no problem. But guess what? Here's the example of polytheistic monotheism. You got African religions, including Shita Netta. Yes. Well, we understood that one God, everything emanates from that. Emanate those, and you better yourself raise your conscious level to become God. Like it's all systematic understanding. That's why I teach it, so I get it. It makes sense to me. But watch this. Moving on. You got Buddhism, Santana, again, Dharma, Hinduism, and Native American. The Indians had their own horoscope situation, their own idea of God, and their own way of nature. And they told the paraphrase, and he came in when they asked him how much you want for the land. I said, land, we don't own it. Another mistake. So understand that. But the concept is everything was given to us, granted to us. We are the gatekeepers, the caretakers of nature. We ain't doing a good job at this point. So, but listen, let's get this done. Next, you got pantheistic monotheism. First was poly. This is pan. Pantheistic monotheism is salvation by devotion to the supreme being who manifests in what? All things. I like this one. It leads to what? The mystical union. Excuse me. Uh-oh. I gotta wrap this up. I got to wrap shit a little bit. I'm going to little hyperdrive. All right, we down here. The example of that is Atonism with Akhenaten changed the God to one God. Vishnuites, Vishnu and Krishna, that's the Indian concept. Then you got Shivite, Shiva. Then you got Sufism, you got Jainism, and you got Goddess. Those are all the pantheistic monotheism concepts. Last one, the mysticalism. Salvation on by discipline, my favorite, that leads to what? Union with the supreme being, aka higher self. For example, yoga, right thinking philosophy, Shita Netta, Sufism, Vedanta, Taoism, and Gnosticism. These are all believers in the mystic concept who know God to be one, and everything emanates from him. It's a concept that you can follow, live by, and it will serve you. It served me well. Hope you got the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. I got to go.